Oh, there you go. You're good.
I got you. There we go.
What's happening, beautiful? How you
Martha,
doing? How are you?
so good. So
Yes.
good. You
Yeah.
looking nice.
Huh?
Said you're looking nice.
Yeah. I don't know how I'm doing it. I've only slept like 3 hours a night for the last 10 days. I don't know what's up with that.
Yeah, it's been cray cray.
I
The
know it
nights are
is.
cray cray.
I know. I tried to go to bed at 9:30 last night, which I haven't done in years, but I didn't go to bed till 4.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's there's no true sleep through the night these for the past weeks.
No, no, not at all. Nope.
Yay, brother Todd.
What's
I am
happening?
so honored that you are spending time and dedicating time for this humble little project of mine.
Well, of
And
course. Yeah, of course. It's all about collaboration. Plus, we have a significant resonance. Uh, the four of us, I believe. You know.
yes, yeah. And we're looking forward to that, becoming more and more solidified and expressed and discovered.
Yeah.
And you are you are like an immediate big brother. Like the minute I heard your voice and listened to your show, I wasn't even on the screen, and it was there. I was like, oh, this is like a big brother energy immediately.
Yeah.
And
Could be a little
you were
monad.
just a
Yeah, there could be a little monad connection there.
yeah. Yeah,
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, because your energy is a
yeah,
lot
for
like
sure.
Morgan's. It's a lot like Morgan's. It really is. Yeah.
Well, it's an honor to have you. Thank you so very, very much. I know you're so busy with your light
Mhm.
work and so busy with your dedication to this cause of rocking people into the you know
Yeah.
state of expression. And I love that you encouraged me to go forth, and
Yeah.
that you're so supportive. And again, it's just an honor. You're just such a bright light.
Yeah.
And I did watch a few of your videos that you had been interviewed by others, so that I had a really good understanding about your journey. And wow, brother, like it makes sense that most light workers have gone through the fire a few times, the dark
Yeah.
night of the soul a few times, but you've really come into your own, don't you think? You've really come into a place of fully embracing, so that you can liberate others as well.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's kind of hard to. It's kind of hard to like. Well, what is it like? Overly modest versus humility. You can't fake humility, and so it's kind of. And then, of course, we all had to learn to be able to receive compliments and but yeah, from a personal level, like me talking to the universe, talking to the universe. Yeah, over this year, I think it's been a gradual. I think for all of us, the self love quotient's gone up, and but for me this year, I can really see it. Um, I feel it, and you know, I'm I love myself. I mean, it's what else am I going to say? You know? I mean, I'm happy with the collaboration with the universe. My twin flame is the universe, right? It is
Yeah.
everything external of me, and but I think it's indicative of what's happening for a lot of people and what's happening collective. I mean, it's just a mirror of the parallels are all across the spectrum, and but yeah, and what I've noticed recently, like even like when you guys came into the field, like so say over the last 3 months, it's moving, it's accelerating rapidly, and now we're headed to Sedona, which was kind of a not a fluke, but it was kind of unexpected. So on the surface, it was kind of a fluke, and now all these people are going. Like I mean, and I can see that 2 weeks is going to be. In fact, I've already been told. I told Morgan a couple of days ago, we're not going to be the same people when we come back. Like our world will not be the same when we come back. There's going to be something explosive is happening over there. A lot of people are going. I've already got 10 people going to the conference that I'm going to be participating in, and that's just since last night. So
Phenomenal.
yeah, it's going to be quite an experience, no doubt.
Well, I'm excited for you. I don't know that you're going to get me off this rock, but but if I
Yeah.
were to go, it would definitely be in light of that type of journey.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's a powerful place. It really is. I've been there, I think, 4 times, and each one of them have had substantial, unarguable dimensional experiences, third eye experiences, and quite a bit of those experiences had a physicality to it, including like, have you ever been to Sedona?
No. Mm-mm.
There's one of the things, one of the attractions is this, what they call a stupa. You know what a stupa is?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's a stupa that evidently the Tibetan monks or the Dalai Lama or whatever went and picked this property. So you have to, there's a main drag in Sedona, and you go down this street off the main drag, and you basically just go down. There's houses, and at the very end of the street, there's this stupa right in the middle of nowhere, right at the base of this mountain. There's only one way in and one way out, and I just knew I had to go there. So I went, and I was going to leave town that day, but something said, you got to go to this stupa. So I went. And so I did a live. They have this big wooden Buddha out there, and I did a live out there. The reception's barely coming in. And as I was doing the live, I see this man come down the mountain, and he's got a t-shirt on and a pair of shorts and running shoes. And he's got long black hair, and he looked like he was from India, right? And so I got through with the live. I forgot about the man. I'm walking around, and all of a sudden he walks right up to me and just looks right at me with a big smile on his face and says, hello. I said, hey, how are you? And he says, do you know how to get out of here? And I thought, well, that's a strange question, because I'm looking over here, and there's the parking lot, and there's the only street that you can get up, get into this. And I said, well, if you just go down to the parking lot and take a right, you'll hit the main drag. So he said something, and I said goodbye. And then 10 minutes later, I got in the car, and I'm driving down that street to go back to the main drag. And I see him on the left side of the road, and he's jogging, the same direction I'm going. And right as I'm about to pass him, like he knew, he turned around, squatted down on his haunches. He squatted down, looked right at me, and gave me this big smile. And then it came in like, this is an interdimensional shaman. There's no coincidence there. Like it was Sedona's way of saying welcome, one of the many ways. But yeah, it's a powerful, powerful place. It really is.
Yeah. Wow. Beautiful. Yeah. You always know by those smiles.
I know,
right?
man. Yeah, the smiles, the eyes. But that because he was a physical man. It was really, and I'm sure somebody's going to come along and say, oh, there's got to be a reasonable explanation. But I had many other things happen there. In fact, that was a 4-day kind of a scouting trip. The next time I went was really my first stay. It was for 6 weeks. It's before I moved to Kauai. I got called to Kauai while I was in Sedona, and I thought I was going to land in Sedona. And the first night I get there, I literally pulled into Sedona on a bus. I didn't have anything. I had didn't even have anywhere to stay. Didn't have any money, which was the way things, had been. I wasn't not familiar with that. So I got off the bus. I got my phone out. I said, I'm here in Sedona. Soulougy's here. I didn't ask for a place to stay or anything. I just said, I'm here. Anybody want to get together? And anyway, long story short, these 2 ladies had rented an Airbnb in West Sedona, which is where everything pretty much is happening. I didn't know it at the time. Anyway, she was, oh, we got internet. We got another bedroom and bathroom. You can use it, and you can stay with us this weekend. So the first night I go over there, got acquainted with them. I did a broadcast. I'm out on the backyard now talking to one of the ladies. And the next thing you know, I see this dog man run across the back alley, and then gets down just like that shaman did, got down, kneeled down, and is looking at me and tells me I'm an interdimensional being from Sirius. And then and the funny thing was, the next day I called a friend of mine in Sedona. I said, hey, let's get together. And she goes, you don't believe what happened last night. I was laying on the couch, and this dog man ran across my backyard. So those kind of things are very common over there for me. But
And you
yeah,
can't make, as you say, you can't make that shift up.
no, you can't. You really
No.
can't. And it's coming in to play more and more every day.
Speaking about what you just touched on, this in the moment existence,
Mm-hmm.
right? This like living literally on the fly in the moment has been such a huge shift.
Yeah.
And to be carried by source through, like along a stream, everything along the path is noticeable in that moment. And I've learned over the past 2 years that that's the sweet spot. It's like we don't need to allow yourself that experience, to not have the safety nets and the plans and the agendas and the expectations, is where you get to be shown literally right in the moment. And I get chills going, Steve and I've been navigating this way where we're not waiting, we're just being pure. And then something reveals itself and we're like, oh, okay. And it's like the universe is giving us our stepping stones, our indicators, and we just move purely towards those revealings, and everything is always worked out. Everything. Like the other, I think it was the second month that COVID hit, and we were already independent and not working for anyone else, and kind of just, fully in our own trust with the universe. And I had moved in with him, and we're very intentional on holding our own, even though we're a duo.
Yes.
And I didn't know how I was going to pay rent. I didn't know like what was going to go. And literally like the day of or 2 days before rent was due, I sold an art piece that had been sitting there for literally 5 months. And I sold it for like, a really good price, and it covered and then some. And it was just like, until that moment happened, I got the phone call, and this woman who was all, all excited. And I'm like, is she legit? Is this legit? Like, it's almost too good to be true. And it's just like the universe, when you live in that zone of just pure being, that's when we get to see how supported we are.
Yeah, it's true. And it's been a journey too.
That's where
yes, that's where the magic happens. And you said something a minute ago. You said like it's almost too good to be true. Because if I look back at the last few years, I had a lot of those moments, but in between those moments, there was still the challenge of the survival frequency that was running in me, or the survival conditioning program, just different normal things that used to be normal. And then as time went on, and I would say that, I'd say, God, this is almost too good to be true. You got to like pinch yourself. Or I'd say, man, Morgan, let me pinch you. Are you really here next to me? But now that you bring that up, or you said that phrase, I haven't, it's kind of, and I'm not gonna say it's gone away, because the gratitude and the appreciation, the reverence is there. Like I was really in deep gratitude this morning, when I was just like connecting, and, but it feels normal. It feels more normal now. And it is easy. It is easier now than it was. It's a lot easier now. There's not gross fluctuations. There's more of a consistent offering every day. But it's not like, oh, you're going to have a bunch of money in your bank account. Not that I have one, but you're going to have what you need. You're going to have what you need today. That's what is pretty much.
Well, and isn't that the way nature is?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right? Is that nature doesn't, there's no excess in nature. You don't see animals that are obese, right? You don't see excess. Everything is efficient.
That's
right?
true.
Everything is balanced and efficient. It's unnatural to live in this state of excess and kind of overabundance in a way. It's like there's enough for everyone because there's balance. And
it's natural.
And that's the healthy zone. It's the natural way. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's natural.
I really appreciate that.
But we're coming out of an unnatural state that we thought was natural. We're coming out
Exactly.
of a state of what we thought was normal, or what it was actually abnormal. And so we're moving into a normalcy that's natural, but it seems foreign. That's why, I would tell Morgan this, a year ago, year and a half, 2 years ago, when I was trying to make all this happen and bring her over here and keep Soulougy expanding and just following the guidance daily. And I would say, I'm figuring something out. If it doesn't make sense and I hear it, then I need to go do it. I don't need to think twice about it. Just because it doesn't conform or isn't normal by society's standards, I just need to. And I've had the advantage because since I was little, since since the beginning of this life, I've never cared what other people thought. Whether it was my
Yeah.
father, my mother, a partner, or brother, sister, friend, didn't matter. And it got me in trouble a little bit, but I can see where that's a big struggle for a lot of people, that I didn't understand until I started to get into the depths of what I do and understand human beings, the human being aspects, you know, journey, because it's not all the same. We're
Yeah.
not all the same.
Yeah. You and I are like that. I didn't have that human attribute either. I was gifted a very strong sense of sovereignty.
Yeah.
And so it took me more acclimation to understand the cause and effect of that part of the human condition,
Yeah.
and to be empathetic towards it, because it didn't occur inside of me, so I didn't know how to be compassionate towards that. I didn't even know how to even
Yeah.
recognize it. So
Yeah.
I get what you mean by that. I
Yeah. I
really
was the
do.
same. I was the same. People would. That's why I probably can't do. Well, like as a practitioner, like run a session. I've done them, over the years, but it's mostly just been done spontaneously, and most of it was done, 3, 4, 5, 6 years ago. But the thing is I'm of the mind that once you get it, like the story doesn't matter anymore, or why keep beating a dead horse. In fact, the last session I did was about 3 months ago for a friend of mine. I was traveling, so I said, I'll go ahead and do it because I'm traveling. I was driving down the road, and I explained, we went through the whole thing, and I told the person, look, don't call me back. You're my friend, but it's a one-off. That you've come to terms with what the programs are that are running, and your plan of action. You've done it. I haven't done it. I've just held space for you. But that's because that's typically something I couldn't understand. I couldn't understand the depth of the imprints that the conditioning had on people that didn't apply to me. Like you said, you had a strong sense of sovereignty. I'm the same way, but I'm learning, and I have become more compassionate and patient, with that type of thing.
What got me there was my sister, my
Yeah.
only sibling.
Yeah.
And because of our, upbringing, I was not affected the way she was. And she was very much, she spent her entire, well, she's almost 50 now. And she's my younger sister. And my entire life, she spent either in a mental hospital or in a actual hospital the majority of the time.
Wow.
Because of the way she took in the world and the way she responded to it. And it led, she had, had struggled so much with all of these dynamics that she was always in a reactive state.
Yeah.
And I never could wrap my head around, why is this my younger sister, why is she perceiving and dealing with the world this, and why is it affecting her in such a detrimental way?
Yeah.
And why I come from the same soil, not wavered, and
Yeah.
I had this adamancy inside of me. No, I did not like that. I was, that's not my path. I'm not doing that. And I don't care what you think. I don't, if I don't, this is my line. Yeah. So I think learning how to hold space for others early on for, was budded by her being in my,
Yeah.
my family, and realizing, whoa, like we are all affected differently. And I wanted her to be well. I
Yeah.
wanted her to feel safe. I wanted, and so that's kind of, she was my tether to that, but I had to
Yeah.
do it from an outside way, and learn to navigate and hold space for others because of that. And that really is what drove me to wanting to be a representation of health and well-being and self-care, because nobody in my family that was like foreign. That was so foreign to in every single person. And I'm like, that was that sovereignty saying, take care of you, do what
You're right.
you need to do.
Yeah.
Like this is your course. Stay on it.
Yeah.
Don't let this rock you and take you off course, so to
Yeah.
speak.
That's the best thing you can do. I mean, when I hit the streets 9 years ago, because it was preceded by a bunch of traumas, involving my children and my wife at the time, and I'd been carrying the load, so mentally and emotionally and physically, I was depleting myself rapidly. Uh, but spiritually, I was, how that works, paradoxic. Uh, I was expanding, but it was explained to me early on because, I'm thinking, well, what's going to happen to my kids, and what's the, and, I don't have a house, I don't have money, I'm homeless, don't have a car, don't have a job, but I was told, well, it was basically to thine own self be true message. And it was explained to me that the better my health is spiritually, that's the best thing I can do for my loved ones. That's what they said. It's the best thing you can do for your loved ones is to be 100% spiritually healthy, or as close as you can get, the 97th percentile, whatever the case is, because energetically they're going to pick up on that. It's not going to be in literal terms and, conversations. It's just going to be your energy itself. It's going to be felt by them. And I didn't really understand that at the time, but as time went on, especially getting educated on a lot of energy related stuff from Morgan, I was able to understand and see how it works. And I see it every day now. I see it
Yeah.
in people, in the expressions they put out from the heart, and honest and raw and real, how it affects other people.
Yeah, it all came down to healthy boundaries and speaking your truth. Those were my bumpers.
Yeah.
My bumpers were set healthy boundaries and speak your truth
Yeah.
and question everything. That if I had to
Yeah.
triangulate, that would be it. Healthy boundaries, speak your truth, and question everything. And I
Yeah.
was adamant about doing so.
Yeah.
So, and it does ostracize us,
Yeah.
but it does at the end of the day allow others to start doing so, even though it seems harsh and seems rough around the edges. It's what kind of creates the normalcy and the example that others need to see.
Yeah.
And that fierce knowing of self and that self-reliance is what it takes to be able to do step one, which is create those healthy boundaries.
Yeah. Very
And man,
true. Yeah.
it's tough to do when you're a little person, it's tough to do when
Well,
you're
yeah.
struggling.
Well, things were different. Things were different. There's the collective consciousness, the individual consciousnesses have expanded. The humans struggled to deal with the real normal, the real natural, and so it's not been an easy gig. It is definitely getting better and better and better every day. But I guess, the way I see it, the universe is, whether it's in regard to me or anyone else out there, it's forcing, it doesn't want to force us, but there is a force there because it's a collective ascension and it's happening. It's bigger than us. But you can flow into it. You can, uh, and what that, for me anyway, what that involves is being direct, being direct about my boundaries. Asking questions, I think, is essential. That to me is one of the essential components of sovereignty. And then one thing I have to try to remind myself, which is what we just kind of talked about, like in the example of how your sister assisted you, and what I had to learn is whatever like, if I'm going to be direct about my boundaries, I've also got to be open to the same level and equality of how I impose myself on other people, you know, and because there's a lot of ways to, like, I can come to you and say, hey, you're going to be on my show, or I can say, hey, would you like to be on my show?
Right.
So, that's a boundary. It's an infringement. It's almost like a energetic etiquette to respect the mirror that you're looking at. Will do unto others as they would have them do unto you. Same thing. Golden rule: what goes around comes around. There's a lot of ways to say it.
Yeah. Yeah. And isn't it exciting where we are, though? I'm so freaking excited that there's so much love showing up, and there's so many facets and versions, and like there's so much. It's like there's such an abundance of love light and different variations. The light language, the Haruko, Blue Star Child, and all the things
She's
that
amazing. Yeah.
all these expressions are showing up, and oh my goodness, I am absolutely overjoyed. Like, I'm like, yes, we're going to show up, and we're going to show up, and we're going to show up with some like pizzazz and some like super deep and enrichment, and every layer of the onion has its own version that we can express and encourage and support each other with. And it isn't about the healer anymore. It's about the self-healing. There's the era, like you were saying, I think on some of your recent shows, we now have a vivid understanding that the train to jump on is the self-care, the self-healing, the self-realization. And we're here to, like you, hold space and just celebrate each other the way through it. And maybe I'm a step or two further along my journey, so I'm familiar with certain things that I can ease your path or ease another's way enough to make it, to ignite them into their own version of it. But and then all we have to do is keep encouraging them. If you face plant, I'm here. We'll get you up, and you can full sprint again until you face plant. And it's okay, because you're gonna face plant. Trust me, we all do. And just keep being each other's cheerleader. That's what I'm really excited about. Is to see all these interesting people coming up on your show, and all of their expressions, and whether they channel or whether I am just thrilled for that.
And I think too that, like, it's let's say every word, the definition of words or explanations of certain patterns or things like that are changing every day. They're expanding just like we're expanding. So, I think, if you look at where we came from, what we viewed as support, there was a certain level, like in every other program from where we came from, of codependency. I'm going to do this, or wounded healer even, I'm going to do this because I'm going to get that, and I think what I'm seeing is there's a lot of collaboration and co-creation occurring this year, and it's kind of organic. And so to me, the definition of support, which I think is a great point and great observation you're making, has changed and evolved and continues to expand. I can think about just different Soulougy initiatives over the years, and I can think back to like the first time I really tried to expand it, which was like, say, 5-6 years ago. Brought some people in. We had a conference call every Sunday, and it lasted about 4 or 5 weeks, because it turned into a junior high escapade. Mickey Mouse, bubble gum, BS, and it just happens. Somebody said, well, you can't do this and you can't do that. And I'm like, what's going on here? This is over. And I hung up and that was it. But my point is now, because there's still obviously unconscious programming in all of us, blind spots and so on, but it's all lessened. And so there's less what you might call agenda. There's less expectation. There's less playing out from that codependent frequency, and it is becoming a true co-creative, collaborative type of situation. You know, I had this show Sunday, I don't know if you saw it, with Lori Ladd. And Lori, we've done a show before, and we were trying to, you know, I just hit her up 2 or 3 times and said, hey, you want to do another show? Because it was a very synergetic show. And she said, I'm very busy. And she's very busy, and I'm busy. So I sent her a note back after the second time I think I had asked her, over a couple of months. And I said, look, why don't we just do something spontaneously when the time comes, like, you know, in the right time, like you said to me. And so I saw a video she did Saturday night. I sent her a note and said, you want to do something tomorrow? She wrote me back the next morning and said, that sounds like fun. Let's do it. And it was just, it's probably going to be the most popular video in 4,000 plus that we've ever done. On YouTube, it's already, I think, number 3. Now, this is just in the Soulougy archives, you know, and otherwise. I mean, it's probably got, like, collectively on all the pages, maybe 30,000 views now. And
epic.
But it was more than us. It was the vortex created by all the people that were observing, and again, no past, present, future. So there was the people that were going to be watching on the linear timelining the next day or the day after or whatever. But it was a very powerful experience, and we had a dimensional scenario or a dimensional episode occur right toward the end of the show. It was pretty cool. But that's the spirit of it. Like, we were talking on there, I'm like, okay, how am I going to, in this new normal that we're returning to, how am I going to schedule shows? How do you schedule a show? You know, I mean, how does that work? I think maybe it's going to work more like this situation where we talk about it, you know, like 5-6 days ago. And then, you know, I get going one direction, and, you know, you were probably going another direction. Then the message came in again yesterday. I said, well, let's look at tomorrow. You know, even though the schedule's packed, it fit perfect, and you just go with it. You know, it's a flow.
Yeah, and that's almost like we were talking about initially. It's that being in the now and just honoring what the universe is lining up for us and trusting it, completely trusting the divine timing, knowing that it's the right thing to do when it shows up in the field, and to be open and embracing it. And the more we do that, the more grace and ease we'll experience. Yeah, it's, you know,
I like to say no more wishful thinking. You know, we've all been in that situation in relationships or jobs or whatever this field of experience that we might be in, whatever aspect of our journey, and you just know it doesn't feel right. You know, it's just like there's a thing in your gut. You just know something, but you keep saying, oh, it's going to be okay. Or you might even lie about it and say, oh, this is the way it is. And yeah, we were unconscious. But yeah, so now it's converting to facts, directness, boundaries. I mean, everything is up front. Nothing's under the table, swept under the rug. There's no crazy ant in the attic. You know, everything is up out in the front. And so there are no questions. And so what happens then? Then you, because of that, suspicion will be removed from our vocabulary, just like forgiveness and just like healing. Those words will be removed because they don't exist where our natural nature is. There's no reason for them because there's nothing to hide, right? Everything is out in the open. That's telepathy in motion, telepathy embodied. I actually think that what you explained earlier. And I love the... Go ahead. There's a lag. Go ahead. No, I was going to say what you explained earlier about that triad of boundaries and so on. That to me is what you said is almost like a mantra for embodying telepathic experience, telepathic existence. Lay it on the line.
Yeah, it's that you have to cut the bullshit. Yeah. You know, we have to remove it. We have to be willing to let go of our egoic mind that has to be in control and schedule everything and all of this, and just witness the constant that we have. We are continually fed and nurtured. And until we let go purely, like Steve and I, we don't have employers, right? Like we haven't had employers for a couple of years. And so we don't know when the next thing will sell or the next job will come up. And living like that, and still having a home and, all the, the regulars, that's when you get into that, like pure, like you're saying, that it's the telepathy with the universe. It's that knowing. I have no doubt. I have no doubt. I don't know how I'm going to buy groceries next week or go to the farmer's market and do this, but I have no doubt that it's going to happen.
That's right.
No doubt.
We can totally identify. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And the more we do that and have that unification and that sense of security with our source, the less we care and worry about and are concerned about anything but trust. And it's the most beautiful thing. The most beautiful thing that I've been able to evolve into this time and moment is to be able to trust every ounce of to source, which is I know myself, and the and so excited about what's up that I make. So it's going to be that the universe already know that's what our agreement is, or what I pre-sent myself for this journey. And I'm like, rock that. I don't need to know the.
Uh-oh. She popped out. She's still recording, but she popped out. So what's going to happen? I think her signal dropped. There she is. She's back. She's coming back.
I got you.
Yeah, you got knocked off, man. Your energy's.
I think
You're frying the lines. That's a good thing. That's the way it happens. That's what happens.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how it is. Like just blow the circuitry.
I know. That's another thing that happened on that show yesterday. I've used this new program for about 400 episodes, and I've never had a problem. And I've had little glitches, but yesterday I got knocked off. There was disappearing, on and off the screen. The audio went crazy, but it was all part of the energy. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I haven't been able to wear electronics. Like my father bought me a watch when I was young.
Signal. There you go. You back? What happened with the watch?
Give us a second if you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you. I can't see you, but I can hear you. Go ahead. It might be better if you just keep the audio.
Give it 1 second. I'm going to check my. Okay, yeah, just 1 sec. I don't even think I ever turned this on. It's not even on. I'm going to boost my Wi-Fi. I just turned up my Wi-Fi, so it might take a second to take hold, but my Wi-Fi, I didn't even realize it wasn't even on. It was a Mickey Mouse watch, and brand new watch. He had bought a brand new battery for it, put it in.
Maybe it rebooted. Maybe when you put the booster on, maybe it rebooted. Let's see.
Yeah, I think it did.
Yeah, I think you're all right.
Yeah, it's in the works.
So what happened? He bought you a Mickey Mouse watch.
Yeah, and it's out, and so about 4 days it flew out, and got another one,
and the hand stopped working. I can't wear a watch. I'm not. Electronics and me are a little iffy.
Yeah, I get.
So it's not something. It's something
I'm picking up like every eighth word, but I got what you said. We talk shop a little bit. Can you hear me? Oh, nope, can't hear me. She's gone again. Energy speaks. Okay, you back? I was going to give you a little helpful hint as far as the
Go for it.
broadcast. Let me ask you a question. Can you hear me?
Yeah. I
Okay.
got you. I got
So
you on video, and
if you have a modem in your house, which I'm sure you do if you have a booster. Can you hear me?
yeah.
Okay.
I do.
What you do is go and get yourself an Ethernet cord. You know what I'm talking about? You remember in the old days?
I did that.
Okay. It didn't help?
I got one. Well, you know what it was? It was the computer. I'm actually on my phone right now.
Okay.
The computer I was using, that I was using didn't have the bandwidth to do the videos. So.
Didn't have the bandwidth. It probably didn't have. Yeah, it probably didn't have the short-term memory, and it probably didn't have it's probably an old microprocessor. It's all good.
Yeah. So basically, I shifted to my phone. We're going to get a new setup for our birthdays, since mine was Saturday and his is Wednesday. So we're gonna go get a new computer.
Happy birthday. When's your birthday? Saturday. Was what? 9.
Saturday. It was Saturday.
The 3rd?
The 5th, and his is the 9th.
Saturday the 5th.
The 5th.
And he's 9/9?
And his is the. Yep.
Wow.
No, he's 9/9. Yep.
Powerful. 9/9. Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
There you are. You're back.
You know what's crazy? Yeah, I'm back. Can you see me now?
Now I can, yeah. Sound better. Everything's in better now, yeah. Oh, shouldn't have said anything. I jinxed it. All right. Well, okay. Let's give it a little bit more time. There you are. You're back.
Yep. So it must just be the weather. Because my phone has plenty of power.
Yeah.
You know what's wild is that we didn't know this, of course, when we met, but you want to talk about, and we don't even like the term twin flame.
We don't either.
But we're both Virgos. We both have Cancer and Moon. We both have Leo North Node and Scorpio rising. So the 4 cornerstones of the astrological makeup, we are identical, he and I.
Can't make it up.
Can't make it up.
Cannot make it up.
And I said, okay, I get it. That's why we get under each other's skin so much, but that's why we love each other so much. Yeah. It's like we get each other, but man, can we get each other riled.
Well, of course, that's what happens. You know, I mean, we've been together, just 5 years, just turned 5 years, and the thing about it is it's just like the rest of the Ascension. It gets smoother and smoother and smoother and smoother, because the couple's just it's just a multiple of the individual. So it becomes like one unit, even though you maintain your individuality. But and it's good that you're able to because you can go through that stuff. You always come back expanded.
Right. And the beauty is that as you're seeing, it's the inner balance of the inner divine feminine and masculine union. And then it's the outer expression. First, you have to master it within, and then you get this partner that you're now having to master it on a exterior level, so to speak, and master that level. And then I think what's happening now is now those, we spoke about it with Morgan, is that now those couples who have done the work inside, that have now locked and loaded with their partner on their exterior, on their physicality side, now we're becoming those beacons for that around the world. And we're now holding that frequency, that
That's right.
balanced harmonic of the unified soul, so that now we can resonate that.
That's right.
And demonstrate that.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
And
It's just
allow us to see that and crave it.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It's just like we were talking about earlier, and what I was recounting about when I first hit the streets. So they were basically saying the best thing you can do for the people you love is be in the best spiritual health you can possibly be in, because that is a frequency. It's going to be picked up, and so same thing's happening with what you're describing, and it's actually got. It's not like 1 + 1 = 2.
Right.
You know, it's more like 1 + 1 = 2 million. You know, or 25 miles or whatever. But it's a much bigger effect because of the times. You know, so yeah, it's cool to be. It's very cool to me to be in a relationship during this transition. But make no mistake, you know, I mean, it does take work, but as with the rest of the transition we're all in, as the days go by, there's a more immediate reciprocation. You can then have the type of reflection and understanding that you just stated, which is, I see it for what it is. So therefore, when I go through the fire, when we go through the fire, I know what's going to happen on the other side. You know, it's the burn, you know, that's all.
Well, and there's such a purpose to it when you see it from that perspective. Because now you realize that we're kind of doing the wash for the collective, right? We're doing our own dirty laundry, so to speak, but we're washing for the collective.
That's true.
And now we can have, like you said, it was the gauntlet. And now that we've got through the gauntlet, now we have a much more grace and appreciation for not just each other and what we've watched each other develop and cultivate, but now there's this third entity of the relationship as that divine union. And we realize that it is an example, a demonstration. And so we honor it on that level. And that just wipes the ego right out of the equation.
Yeah. And
it humbles you in a way that you're like, oh, I get it. This is source in action. This is the part of this is the revolutionary energy that we all are a part of.
True.
And my gosh, to have a partner who can walk the walk with you is priceless.
I know it is.
Right.
And it's not like you're codependent. It's just, it's hard to explain. You know, that old saying, they have that old saying about if I was in a fight in a bar, who would I want with me? You know what I mean? It's like this place where there's no doubt. You know, like even like in my situation, like, you know, that I was connected, very, very connected when I met her. And that's another part of this, that triad you're talking about, that questioning. With that questioning comes, you can't question everything if you don't have an open mind. So when you meet someone like your partner, my partner, they're going to bring things to the table that are really for you and vice versa. But if you're resisting it because of closed-mindedness, you're not going to get the gold until you let go. But I think that's a very good point about these relationships. Is you have this incredible opportunity, and I believe that nobody's put here by chance. We exercise free will to come, but by the same token, I think the universe probably had some parameters that are prerequisites that, you know, not just anyone could come because they wanted to come. I think there had to be a certain level of something as a prerequisite or prerequisites to come down here. And so being in a relationship, I think you was talking early on, or I think the first thing that you brought up was, how do you feel about yourself after this journey? And so when I look at my relationship, I know that, yes, I'm very thankful, very grateful, but at the same time, I also know I created it, and she created it, and you created yours, and he created his, and it's these concentric circles that are coming together, and the power from them is yet to be seen. I think it's being felt, but it's yet to be seen, and it's going to be mind blowing.
Yeah, it's emerging, and it will ignite the collective. But everyone that's showing up with saying, okay, I get it, and they're discovering their own true nature and their own true gifts and their own way of connecting with source. That everyone that's on your show, everyone that that is showing up and being their true divine expression, they're going to be attracting others, whether it's a significant other or not. They're going to be attractive and igniting one another.
Yeah.
And that's the wave. That's the ripple effect. And the more we're in that zone, the more attractive we are, and the more, like you said, we just expand that bandwidth. And oh my goodness, talk about celebration. And it is a pre-sent. It's like the perfect design. We are reading. We read a lot out loud to each other, and we're reading the Tablets of Light, and I think the other one is the Galactic Assistance, or the Galactic. Baby, do you remember what that one was? The Galactic Cooperation, and it's all about the what we've already set up for ourselves in the divine plan. We're just playing out our role of a divine plan.
Yeah.
But this is all happening. Like you said, there's no stopping this shift.
No, it's not. No.
And
no, it's not.
And our commitment to ourselves is tethered to our commitment to Gaia. And healing ourselves is a reflection of how we have to heal ourselves and have reverence for ourselves, and then we can go, oh, and we need to take care of this and our ship as well. And it expands to that level. And she's, look at all the stuff happening. And I know that we have the technology to see more things in real time now around the globe. And I imagine a lot of it is normal, so to speak. But now we're just being able to witness it in a real time way. But there is a level of intensity. There is a next level that we're experiencing that I'm like, dude, I can't imagine another year of this. Like, if something's gonna happen.
Well, it has to be revealed. We didn't have internet, 100 years ago or whatever, but it has to be revealed, and it can't just be the story or somebody's narrative. It has to be the truth. So it's no different than our own experiences and our own transformational cycles of transformation, or whatever you want to call it. We have to, ask the questions, and we have to be open, and then once something's presented, either by force or flow, we're gonna have to align with it. We're gonna have to align with the reality of it, accept it, and because the first step to transformation is awareness. And how can you transform something if it's a lie? You know what I mean? So the universe will see that all the truth comes out. And I was told that on the streets. I was told, it was one of the pivotal moments in my life, and I was deep in the dew and 2:00 in the morning, on a park bench, and I remember, and I heard, just understand that anything and everything you've ever done will be known by everyone. Every single thought, word, action, everything. And I went into holy shit. Because I've been pretty wild, and I've done some very wild things. And then I realized what they were really saying was, but it's the same for everybody. And I
Right.
thought, oh, wow. Well, if that's the case, what do I got to lose now?
Right.
That's why I say, I am soul means sometimes it can be said as I'm not afraid to show my ass, because
Right.
you can't move into that unknown, that womb, of the holy darkness, that you can't move through that fear. Why don't we move through the fear? Because we don't know what's going to happen on the other side. Well, you can't move into that space, and knowing that you're not going to, by human terms, be embarrassed or fail or whatever the case is.
Right.
You just
It's
jump
part of
through.
the process.
Yeah, jump through the dream catcher. Just jump through it.
Jump through it.
Yeah.
Yeah. The hoops will take you for a loop, and then you realize everybody's got their loop-de-loops, and we're all
Everybody does. Everybody's in the same boat,
yeah.
but
And
they're
if
in their own boat. But it's
and
the
the
same
beautiful
boat. Yeah.
and the beautiful thing is by doing so, we drop judgment and we learn to embrace each other.
Yeah.
And we learn to have compassion, and we learn to support each other, because those were the delusions, and those were the egoic layers that we were programmed with, that we had to choose to shed. And we
Yeah.
can't, we all have things to shed, right? So it's like, it won't be a judgment day.
No.
It'll be a celebration, and
Yeah.
because we actually made the transformation, there will be no judgment, because we will have
Doesn't
transformed
exist.
itself.
It doesn't exist there.
Right. No.
Just like I said earlier, healing, forgiveness, suspicion, shame. There's just so many words that don't exist. They exist here, but they don't exist in our natural nature and natural experience that we share together. And yeah, you're right. I think it's coming, and it's coming fast. And I think there's going to be, I try to be careful about the things I say, because I know that an individual can affect and does affect the collective, but it would make, I think every day the trajectory changes, and probably to 100% degree, it's, for the last few years, it's gotten better on a daily basis. Like, where are you going to be? Where's the world going to be, in 2 years? And today it's one thing, but tomorrow it's that one thing plus a better, plus it's been put into a better trajectory. So, I think it's coming fast, and I don't think we have any idea what it's going to look like at all. None. I don't think anybody can. Probably the only thing that we could maybe get a clue as to what it might be is through just feeling, no words, like these moments where we have that bliss and that oneness, and these just certain times where they've been fleeting, but they're going to sustain themselves for longer periods of time. This is where we're at, and the journey is it, right? I mean, we're not going to get there. We're never going to get there.
Well, exactly, because what I was thinking is, whether it's 5D or whatever, it's like, that's just the next level. We're still going to learn. We're going to still have moments where we're still going to have a new environment to adapt to and to kind of get on board with, and we'll be the babies. It's a new level of that. But the new landscape is going to be a new adjustment, and then we're going to acclimate. And I'm going to come closer to a charge cord real quick, because I just saw my.
It's okay. I'm going to have to get out of here in a second.
Okay.
I got another show.
All right, brother.
But that was a fast hour, though.
Yeah, it was.
I didn't feel like it. I thought it was like 20 minutes. And I got my little alarm.
We're covering a lot of ground. Yeah.
Right on.
Well, thank you again so much.
Yeah. Anytime I'm here to support you in any way, and don't be shy. Just, if there's something you think I can do or the platform can do, just let me know. And then I'll make sure and get, you guys, we'll get coordinated with you guys and get you guys to come on so you can share your story, share your energy.
Thank you. Well, we would love that. And we adore and love both of you so much. I know you have many cheerleaders, and I am just one of them, but it's an exciting time. It
is.
really is.
Yeah, it
And
is.
thank you so much for your vision and you pursuing it, you sticking with it. You being that torch bearer has lit the way for many of us. And, you know, you're just phenomenal. So much love for you. Thank you. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
And thank you for everything too. I appreciate it. Both of you. I'll see you. Take
All right.
care.
Ciao,
All right.
brother.
Back to work. This wasn't
Ciao.
work. This was play. This was great. Okay, I'll
Yeah.
see you. Bye-bye.
Aloha. Well, that was great because